In fifth grade, me and my classmates were encouraged to read a lot. So our teacher had this bulletin board in the back of the room that had pieces of construction paper with each of our names upon it, with four blanks that would be filled hopefully with four books that we read during that month. And what that did for me was it encouraged me, it motivated me to read more and to read more quickly, especially because I wanted to be the first one to have their paper filled out. And I found that what that did is it really formed a firm foundation for me in my reading skills and in my reading speed. So from that time on, I've been able to read a little bit faster. I've been able to comprehend more as I read and to read just more in general, to have that capacity to do that. We need those things in our lives that help us to form a firm foundation. A lot of times parents do this for their children, or were meant to form a good foundation of virtue, of working hard, of those sorts of things in life. Jesus speaks to his disciples today about firm foundations. He says that not everyone who says to him, Lord, Lord, will enter the kingdom of heaven, but everyone who hears his words and acts upon them will be like a man who built his house with a firm foundation, solid rock. And those who hear his words and don't act on them will be like those who built their houses on sand. This tells us a couple of things, is that when we hear the word of Jesus and we act upon it, that helps us to lay this foundation, this solid foundation that helps us to say, this is how my faith is being built up from that place. And also that if we hear his word and we don't act upon it, then it's almost worse than if we hadn't heard his word, because it means that we're building our houses on sand. It means that we know what we should be doing. We've heard the word of the Lord, but we decide to do nothing about it. Jesus doesn't guarantee heaven for every single person. That's just the truth. It's not to discourage us, but rather to help us to look forward with anticipation for the coming of the Lord, for that moment. So if we were to build our house on that firm foundation, this Advent season is actually a great time to do that, because if we're going to have a firm foundation, it means that we're always anticipating the Lord's coming. We're always thinking about the ultimate goal, which is heaven. And so every moment becomes infused with this opportunity, with this grace to say, I can act for Jesus here, or I can act for myself or for the world. I can do good here, or I can do evil, or be selfish in some way. The real deal is doing the preparation that the Lord asks of us. My suggestion is to look at the gospel, to really read the gospel and listen to the words of Jesus, and then to go out and act upon those words, because that is what a firm foundation looks like. This Advent season offers us a time to build that foundation, to build upon it. And when we have a firm foundation, we will be ready when the Lord comes. And as we expect him, we will go out to meet him, knowing that he is going to welcome us into the heavenly kingdom.